Alright. I skipped a day just because I frankly was busy with work. Um, But now I'm coming back. I'm gonna be doing the bonds. We'll see if I can play a round, but I don't know for sure. I've got plans, and those may or may not. We'll see how it goes. But that doesn't really matter now. I thought it said that Alden was 24 hours. I was about to freak out. Well, you paid absolutely no attention to my advice. Should I take that as a compliment?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You should. Because you know what? That was my plan all along. Reverse psychology. I learned that from a wizard I met back in Caramont. It's when you get something to do something by telling them to do the opposite. Yeah, I know what reverse psychology is. You do now. Something you gotta remember in life. Every day is an opportunity to learn something new. So what did you learn today, Faust? I learned I'm traveling with one badass, brilliant kid wizard. That's what. Impressive.
Definitely.
Honestly, it is. I'm an old dog. New tricks don't come easy. What are you? But don't let me take all the credit. You worked hard to get where you are. That's your next lesson. Look at that. 2 for 1 special.
Ugh.
In life, other people are going to try to take credit for your accomplishments. It's inevitable. But you just remember all the blood, sweat, tears, and anything else I don't want to know about that you put into it, whatever it is. No one can take that away from you. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I may have helped you out a lot, but don't forget to give yourself some credit too. Thanks, Faust. I definitely won't do that. Excellent. I'm glad we linked up, man. We're like long-lost brothers or something, I swear to the god.
Let's do it!
Yeah, I think Marion always wanted an extra brother.
Nuh-uh.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe not brothers exactly, but something real close. Just not in a blood way. You get me?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I do. Man, what did I say? We're unstoppable. That was really awkward. Everyone's getting together with Faust. Benji, come here for a sec. I have a question only you can answer. You and everybody else, Faust, get in line. I'm afraid this is urgent. In the great and powerful Benji spare moment. Well, when you put it so nicely, I think I could find some time. What can I do for it? What can I do you for? Hungrier than the abyss, and all I have is this corn. I don't know how to properly husk it. That's not a question, is it?
Ugh.
Are you really going to make me say it? Depends on whether you want to eat that corn tonight.
Ugh.
Good God, I want to eat the damned corn, you oaf. How do I husk it?
Ooh, let me get some of that.
Give her here and watch the legend go to work.
All right.
There you go.
Jeez.
It was terrifying. How in the world do you do it that so
It's
fast?
simple.
It's just like anything else. I've practiced all my life. Why do you practice husking corn? To be the best at it? It's not like you don't... It's like you don't even know me at all. I don't think you're comprehending that I couldn't even see your hands move. They were going so fast. If you were half that good at killing things, we could rule the world. Maybe so, but corn doesn't fight back now, does it?
Stop.
You're a very frustrating person. Because I'm right, right? Yes, because you're right. Stop looking so smug. What do you mean? I always look like this.
Uh-huh.
Go. Rose. Hi, Rose. Stopping by for a chat?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to thank you. You already thanked me, did you not? Not for that. I don't think I really understood what you were doing at the time. I'm not sure what you're talking about. You told me about your doubts because you've seen how many I have, didn't you? Well, it sort of ruins the point if you realize I'm doing it, doesn't it?
Really?
Not at all. I've been thinking a lot about what you told me. This group of people we have around us lets me be brave. It lets me feel like I'm doing things right. It's incredible, Rose. But no one makes me feel stronger than you do. You know how I feel because you've been through it. I really appreciate that you were kind enough to show me your own hardships to help me through mine. I don't want to discount how much of an impact you've made on me.
I'm with you.
It's a beautiful thing to see. You're feeling so passionate. Such a powerful person waiting below all the trepidation. How does it feel to be bursting out of your shell?
I guess so.
Scary. But that's okay. I have friends now that can help me through it. I can trust you. You know you aren't the only one that benefits from this. I never got to be the one helping, since I was always the one in doubt. It lets me know how far I've come, that I can be a part of the process with you. Aw, Elias, I'm really glad we met.
Sure thing.
Me too. Alexa, you used to work in a forge, right? Yep. Smithing was the family business, until I got tired of crafting swords instead of swinging them. Nice. Did you ever work with adepts? Sure, we filled some orders for them. We had all kinds of customers. What do you mean actually work with them? Like, in the forging process? My father's work was pretty well known in High Ridge. We had the market pretty much cornered on finer weapons and gear, unless you're willing to trek up to Everhearth, that is. But we didn't do much collaborating with anyone, really. We pretty much ran our own show. Got it. Why? You interested in the craft? Maybe. I know that's something Elias used to do. It just seems like a good way to put my talent to use that isn't just destroying things. Hey, there's a lot of nasty stuff out there in desperate need of destroying. Stay focused on the right targets, and you'll do a whole lot of favors. And you'll do the world a whole lot of favors.
I don't know.
And who decides what the right targets are? The targets themselves, often enough. You ever see a face that just screams, "Punch me"? Probably not as often as you, Alexa. Hey, careful. A compliment. You've got an eye for those kinds of things. Rose, I don't think I ever asked you, how did you end up in Durban anyway? Oh, and you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. It's alright. I don't mind. I'm not proud of it. I was with a group of bandits for a while. We patrolled a pretty broad territory just south of Canopy Bridge. One day, we ran into more Delian soldiers than we could successfully rob. They had us marching back in chains before we could blink. They were serious bandits then, the kind that hurt people. They considered themselves the gentle kind, but they were nothing of the sort. I think that was just a fantasy they used to justify things they did. When people get desperate, sometimes, it seems like they're willing to do anything. Bandits are just some of the best examples you can find. Was it that way for you then? When you joined them, I mean. Were you desperate? I never actually chose to live like that. They captured me one day when I was out in the woods. Oh no. It's awful. I was terrified. I couldn't bring myself to scream for help. I had no idea what they wanted with me. But when they explored the area for food that night, they found a lot of my kills. I explained to them that I shot the animals, and they were impressed, I guess. They asked me to teach them what I knew. While I was with them, focusing on trading them was my way of staying out of the other things they got up to. Staying alive, probably.
That sounds right.
It's a relief, honestly. I didn't like the thought of you running around holding up travelers, and I'm glad you never tried anything worse, too. As am I. It was bandits, wasn't it? who gave you those scars. Yes, it was.
Sorry.
Sorry, Iris. I want you to know I never would have stood up for something so evil like that. Not in a million years. I hope those criminals see justice. I believe you, Rose. But you don't have to say that. These scars are something that happened to me, yes. But they are not who I am. I get to decide who that is. I get to decide each and every day. You taught me that. All of you did. Wow. Why is her name not capitalized there? It's really beautiful, Iris. It's true for you too. You don't have to. You don't have to be defined by your past. Thanks. Yeah, I think you've got it figured out pretty good. I hope I can live by that too. If you want to, you will. Is there more? Oh, Faust. Hey, Faust. Reading something?
Nuh-uh.
Nah, I don't read. It sure looks like a scroll. It's not. It's a map of Etlin. See? I stole it off of that Braxton fellow while he was oogling Sloane. You stole it? I know. I'll give it back when I'm done. Pretty nice though, isn't it? Yes, it's quite beautiful. All the more reason you should give it back.
Uh-huh.
I agree, and I will. But first I need your help with something. What's that? Can you show me where Orzon is?
Come on.
Lost. What? You know, Iris, we've become such good friends, and after everything we've been through, I'd love the chance to visit the old Baron and command him on doing some... I'd love the chance to visit the good Barons and commend him on doing such a good job raising you. And then ask them if they're interested in adopting a son. I actually hadn't thought of that. Do you think they might be? Faust, I think you're going to have to find another way to become a Baron. Alright, so you're not going to show me where Orzon is? I can show you. I just think that not-so-subtle plan of yours isn't going to play out in your favor. But what do I know?
Definitely.
Exactly. Now I'm all ears, Iris. What can you tell me about your father's barony? Why don't we find it on the map first? Let's see here. It's all falling into place. Marin, I have to imagine there's some course I missed out on where they teach you how to overthrow a tyrannical king. Not even close. But maybe you could teach it someday. That day is a long way off, if it even exists. Maybe. Are you ready? Take this fight to the top? I'm not getting any more ready standing around talking about it. But if it's what the others expect of me... And what do you expect of yourself? I don't know. I'd say to deliver justice to those who suffered loss. But that seems so impossible now. You're right. It would be impossible. We don't deliver justice by what we destroy. We do that by what we build. Those are words. Those are the words of a healer if I've ever heard them. Were you expecting anything else? No. In fact, I think that's just what I was looking for. But I'm happy to oblige. Maybe all I expect of myself is to leave it all on the battlefield. That way the rest is up to fate, our friends, or perhaps a combination of both. It's not a poor demand, but you'll never achieve it if you see it as a way to escape responsibility. You'll only do it if you allow it to become your responsibility. That sounds right. I'll try and think of it that way. Marin, do you remember what you said to me before about how much can happen in a year? Of course. Well, if you'd told me a year ago we'd be where we'd be today, I'd have believed you. Nothing's quite as unbelievable as life itself. That couldn't be any more true. It gives me hope, too, that we might see an unbelievable victory. We might. But if we don't, you'll never face another trial alone. All of us with you, no matter what threats we face. I know I'll be right there every step of the way. You have a good record of that. I can't think of any reason to change that now.
Together.
Good. Neither can I. Hey, Alexa. What do you want, Faust? What's your surname?
What?
Why do you want to know? So I can go back to your hometown and impersonate you? Yeah, I don't really feel like helping you out with that. Alexa, I'm kidding. Besides, there's no way that would work. In case you hadn't noticed, I'm not nearly as jacked at you. Although I have tried. Mind sharing your secret?
Come on.
You'd be lucky to get one answer out of me at a time, Faust. Which one do you want to know? Surname. Can you tell me the real reason why this time?
Ugh.
Fine, I'm trying to settle a bet. You took a bet on something as obvious as my name?
Uh-huh.
Look, can you just answer the question? Gemrot. That's my family name. I knew it. Congratulations.
You think?
Eric thought you were a smith. Just wait until I tell him. You know, Faust, I really can't decide. Are you a relentless pot stirrer or just a thoughtless idiot?
Huh?
Why couldn't I be both? It's starting to look like you could. Thank you for joining me. Been looking forward to teaching you all about one of my favorite things. I can't help but be curious. I've never heard of microtransactions, but it sounds really fun.
You think?
No, you wouldn't have. It's complicated. Hard culture to keep up with. Not really a local thing. Okay, I don't mind. What am I learning today, Teach? Well, I learned from watching some, theater performances about something called microtransaction. Really wonderful stuff. How does it work? Okay, hear me out. I sell a product that seems to be complete. Oh, are they really Got it.
Anyway.
And after they buy it, I reveal that it actually isn't complete, and they're missing essential portions of the experience.
Huh?
Why not just sell them everything up front for more? See, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Turns out you can charge crazy prices for stuff that isn't worth what they're paying. Why would anyone buy that? Surely you would just go to another salesman who doesn't do that and get a better experience.
Uh-huh.
But that's just it. If you stick around one area enough, you can teach all of the other merchants to do it. I don't think I get it. Just wait, it gets better. Once you teach everyone to do it, the people who buy things in that area get conditioned to just be alright with it. It's like teaching a dog new tricks, really. I'm still not following you, but I'd like to see you work your magic.
Yeah.
It's not magic, Sophia. It's marketing. Huh? I didn't expect them to actually throw in commentary on freaking microtransactions. Am I missing something here? That's weird. Writing a letter to your superiors? Officially, no. I've just been struck with a burst of poetic inspiration.
That's correct.
Unofficially, yes. Given everything there is to report, I'd say you could use some poetic inspiration. Have you come to offer some? Unfortunately not. What you said before we left the Marrows, do you think it could happen? Another calamity? We don't know. This ancient ritual was certainly involved in the past, but it's not clear whether it was successfully completed or went awry somehow. Fine. Then we don't know. What do you think? If you're asking me about how I feel about it, suffice to say, I'm not entirely optimistic. I'll admit, the outcome the signs suggest thus far is rather grim. Then may the gods help us. It may be necessary before the end. But if we succeed in our efforts, and we can tip the scales, it gives me hope. I'm not sure how reasonable it is to say it is to hope to stop a clandestine ritual we know hardly anything about.
We do what we must.
Vesta, the others look to you for hope. Trust me when I say we have cause for it. But if you can't do that, then keep hope at least for them. I know. I just don't want to give them a false hope. Then we must not let it be false. We could make it true. Our training, our knowledge, even this movement we've sparked across Delia, it's all empowered us to avert this crisis. Peace is once more in Delia's grasp. I pray you're right. Perhaps side by side, and with a bit of grace, we might achieve it. I can promise you this. I won't be holding anything back on the battlefields ahead.
Agreed.
Nor will I. Cisterns in arms to the end, then. To the end. Only may the end not come tomorrow. If it pleases the gods, may they hear that prayer. I sincerely hope they do. If you don't mind me saying, I think that blade's as sharp as it's going to be. Oh yes, I know. Yes, I know. Just a nervous habit of sorts. Something troubles you? Nothing beyond the obvious, really. The odds don't favor us. So much has already been lost.
Take heart.
Irving, you cannot lose hope. You are the source of it for too many. Tell me then, what should be my source of hope? Hope is not some commodity, like a mug of ale, diminished as it passed from one to another. It is a defiant act of the will, and just one spark, your spark, is enough to set a city ablaze. Sojourn, ablaze. I think that's what I'm worried about. Do you remember what you told me after we rescued your mother? That it was a reminder, for all of us, who we're fighting for? Not just some lofty idea, but real people. Mothers, sisters, and sons. I changed that a little bit, it's fine, just ignore that. And friends too. You shouldn't have to look too far to be reminded of that. No, I don't. It's those sisters and sons who I'm worried about. If I could bring an end to this without shedding one more drop of blood. You would, I know it. And it's good that your heart dwells on these people. Quite frankly, I'd be more concerned if it didn't. But you must not let that weaken your resolve. What gives you hope, then, Vesta Lemaire? You, Irving. Please, I'm serious. I want to know. When I took the secret oath, I pledged my life to the Order of Eternals, to the protection and defense of the aspects against those who would use them for evil. Before you and your friends found me in my temple, the Order was failing that charge. I would not have succeeded in my defense, or even escaped with my life without your aid. But when I saw Orima again, and met all of you, when I saw the bonds formed across borders and birthrights, I thought there might be a chance to actually put a stop to this evil. Once again, I had hope.
Still.
We knew so much less than we know now. I'm surprised we would have that effect.
Do not lose hope!
Still do, Irving. For so many, not just all of us here. Take solace in that. I will try. If we're idle, destruction will not be slowed. That much is certain. Which is why we must not be. The gods have blown a wind in our sails. The time has come to raise the anchor and use it. Ford heard us using a nautical metaphor. Please don't tell him. I won't. Thank you, Vesta. You're an inspiration to each of us. May it bring the gods glory and Terrazel justice. Settle for that. Vesta, I wanted to speak with you. I can imagine the weight you're carrying. I can't imagine the weight you're carrying. I suspect you don't have to imagine it. You bear it too. Of course, but your responsibility to protect and defend the aspects has never been more difficult or more important. Well, what kind of priestess of Fane would I be if I couldn't keep my own oaths? Not a very good one, admittedly, though that's not unheard of. No, unfortunately not. Are you alright? Yes, Orima. Thank you. I knew what I signed up for when I joined the Order. It did so much for me. It gave a new purpose for my It did so much for me. It gave a new purpose to my life. It seems the price for that has come due. Fate settles all debts. Never should have told you that. Now you think you're some kind of monk. Hardly. Well, I'll fight by your side till the end. Whatever it holds for us. If there's anything else I can do, just say the word. Pray for me. That I'll have the strength to do what it takes. I already do. Do you really? Ever since we left the temple. Do you mind if I ask you something? Free country. Well, once upon a time, maybe. What exactly happened back in Higher Ridge? I've heard from a bunch. I've heard a bit from others, if we're being honest. But I want... Let me try this again. What exactly happened back in Higher Ridge? I've heard a bit from others, if we're being honest. But I want to hear the full story. Well, I was born there. Raised, left. Not much to make a fuss about. If you don't want to talk about it, you could say so, you know. No, it's fine, I suppose. Sore subject. My father is a blacksmith, and a damn good one at that. One of the best. I was raised at the forge. Truthfully, I've never felt like I belonged anywhere else. No siblings? Nope. Just little Alexa. Of course, I was faster and stronger than any of the other village kids, so little may be a bit of a stretch. No surprise there. You look like you could crush Benji's armor with your bare hands. Well, no, If you couldn't tell that I hadn't been paying attention, there you go. Tell me about it. I know you're asking about how things changed. Sorry. It takes me a while to get around to it. Hard to figure out what I want to say, so I'll be brief. Sure. When King Faisal was murdered and Varric took over, he began to demand audiences with the best artisans across the kingdom. My father was on top of that list. He was given ultimatum after ultimatum. Either he worked for Varric, or he wouldn't work at all. It's awful. Worse if you knew him. He loved the forge, building beautiful things. This king comes across and rips his passion away from him. He worked until he couldn't any longer. His body is a wreck, and they took the one thing he loved the most away. They wanted me to take over after. Obviously, here we are. I had no idea how awful things were, even before the war. Things always seemed fine and idyllic, little Duskwater. It's how they get you, I think. These ruler types who care nothing for the common folk. I think if most think it's fine, you could torture the few. You're pretty sharp for a meathead. Okay, just end there, I guess. Are you okay, Faust? Where is this mysterious person you need to talk to? Is it anyone else? I'm just gonna look through real quick. Is Benji, or is Faust just bugged? It looks like Faust is just bugged. Give me 1 second. You gonna finish that?
Pardon?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I seem to have lost my appetite. No worries, I've still got mine. I'm glad to see you're coming around to me, Alexa.
Oh, yeah?
Who says I'm doing that? Where I come from, it's unheard of to share... It's unheard of to share a meal with someone unless you're extremely close. And where I come from, it's unheard of to let food go to waste. You're not locked up in Durban anymore, Alexa. We have plenty of fresh rations. Yeah, and those rations will keep. This won't. No, I suppose it won't. Fine. Maybe you are starting to grow on me. Oh? And what awards me this great honor?
Here's the deal.
You can hold your own out there, even when the fighting gets nasty. Never met anyone else like that. Ugh, goodness, sorry. Never met anyone like that I didn't respect. Well, I appreciate that. I suppose I owe it to my training and experience. Given your own, I'd say you show great promise too. I know you mean that as a compliment. Somehow it didn't come across that way.
Forgive me.
Forgive me. I'll try to choose my words more thoughtfully. Yeah, alright. I had a dream last night, Rose. Oh, what was it about? I was back at Durban, the day we liberated it, only I was inside one of the cells, and help never arrived. I was trapped, watching the executions take place. They took all of you, our friends, one by one, until they finally came for me.
Sorry.
It's Maev. So sorry. It sounds horrible. There's no need for remorse. It was only a dream. Have to imagine you've witnessed greater horrors in your waking hours. Durban was not exactly a pleasant place to be.
Undeniably skilled.
I'm sure you've spared me the worst of it. You have an uncanny strength, Rose. Really, you do. After everything you've been through, it's incredibly generous that you decided to join our cause.
You think so?
It's the only thing there was to do, I guess. If you want to see something happen, do it yourself, right?
I guess so.
Sounds awfully familiar. It's something I heard Alexa say. That explains it. It sounds like you're beginning to trust her more. I'm adapting.
Really?
If she really wanted to cause problems for us, she's had plenty of opportunities. At this point, I think it's safe to say we're in the clear. I suspect you're right. And you know what I've noticed? What's that?
A result to be expected.
I fight better now. When I take one eye off my allies, I keep both on my enemies. They fall faster.
That's so cool.
I think that's how it's supposed to work. Fight alongside your friends. Yes, I believe it is. I bet Lincoln regrets turning you over to Varric when he did.
Don't think so.
I don't. He seems like a person who regrets... He doesn't seem like a person who regrets much of anything.
Could be.
I wouldn't be so sure. He took his job as a recruiter pretty seriously. And now that he sees you fight, I think he'd be the first to tell you that we really could have used someone like you back then.
You got that right.
So far, you're the first to tell me that. Give him some time to thaw out that icy pride of his. He could take all the time he likes. Well, take it from me then. Our victories feel a lot more assured with you around. Plus, with the way you've been able to convince everyday citizens to join our cause, this revolution stands a real chance.
Come on!
They don't need convincing. They know what needs to happen. All I've done is stoke the flames they were already kindling inside of them.
Definitely.
Then you've done an excellent job of that. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised. You're a blacksmith after all. Stoking fires is a bit of a specialty of yours. I think fires have an unfair reputation. How do you figure that? Everyone thinks of them as destructive, and they can be. But they're also creative. They allow us to take an old hunk of metal and give it a new shape.
Who'da thunk?
If a new shape is what Delia needs, so be it. I just hope we can get there without using Terra as we know it for fuel.
No time to waste!
Sometimes it takes what it takes. Maybe. But the cure shouldn't be worse than the disease. Then let's hope it doesn't come to that. All or nothing. All or nothing.
All or nothing!
All or nothing. How do you feel? Feel good. Feel ready to take on the world.
Been waiting for this.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. What if I'm not ready to be so confident?
Huh?
Excuse me? I just...
What?
Come again? I know we've been working on it, and I think I'm starting to feel more comfortable in my own skin. I've done a lot of impressive things. We're doing important work, but I don't know if I have anything to offer other than my bow. You know the funniest thing? I can't hear a word you're saying right now. I can't hear a word you're saying right now. La la la, I'm not listening.
Really?
You've got to be kidding me. I'm being serious right now, Alexa. La la la, I don't like listening to little girls who don't respect themselves and how strong they are. You're the worst! Hey, I think I just heard something. Did I? Nope. Must have been the wind. Fine. Maybe I'll just swing the other way and become extremely overconfident, just like you.
Oh, yeah?
Now you have my attention.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. That was uncalled for. Rose, if anyone I know deserves to believe in themselves, even if it's a little more than they should, it's you.
You think so?
You really think so? Of course I do. Thank you. You make me feel proud, you know that? Of course I know that. It's what I do. Now say it with me.
All or nothing!
All or nothing. Rose! Oh my goodness, I thought I stepped on a beehive in that last battle. What do you mean? Things were just heating up when I heard this buzzing around me. Then I looked up and I saw it wasn't bees, but a cluster of your arrows. Oops. Sorry, I didn't know some of them came a little close. Are you kidding me? I turned back around to take on another enemy and you already dropped him. I'd say you did me a favor. How did you learn to be such a great shot anyway? I wish I could pull that off.
It's not much.
Got a lot of practice hunting and stuff growing up. Maybe I can take you with me next time. Hunting? Real animals? And killing them?
Sorry.
Dude, I'm sorry, Sophia. Forgot you're a vegetarian.
Aw.
Uh-oh. Butter, I didn't cover your ears. Oh well. It wasn't like he was paying attention or anything. That reminds me. When I was a girl, I used to shoot down dawnbreak apples from a tree when I could find them. They grew up real high, so it was good target practice. Maybe if we get a chance, we could find some and practice together?
Uh-huh.
Sounds like a win to me. Nothing gets killed, and we get to eat a whole bunch of apples. Exactly. We'll all keep an eye out and let you know. And I'm getting hungrier just thinking about it. Rose, you'll never guess what I've got for you. Aw, you didn't have to get me anything, Faust.
Uh-huh.
Don't worry. I did it for me, not you. Oh. Well, are you going to tell me what it is? Even better. I'm going to show you. Check it out. A cricket?
Yeah.
A live cricket. One of the biggest I've ever seen. Excuse me. One of the biggest I've ever seen, too. Let alone caught. You do this often? Catching crickets? Used to be a little bit of a pastime of mine. Interesting. Whatever keeps the boredom at bay, I guess. Yeah, you get it.
I can't do this.
Before you ask, I'm not going to eat that, Faust. Nah, you don't have to eat it. I wasn't even going to say that. I mean, I think that would be pretty impressive if you did eat it, but you don't have to do it or anything. Does it make any noise?
Jeez.
Yeesh. I give you a gift and the first thing that you ask me as if it's defective. I didn't mean it like that. It just seems pretty quiet. It was making a lot of noise when I found it. Maybe it's just scared.
You think so?
Yeah, now that I think about it, that seems pretty likely. Oh yeah? Let's see you do better then. Here, take it. Sure. Thanks, Faust. Oh, and one more thing. If you do decide to eat it, can you call me over first? Nasty as it is, I wouldn't want to miss it. I'm not sure I'll ever understand. Is that everything? It looks like it. Alright. It's just a lot of Faust is what I'm getting at. It's just so much Faust. I actually named these. Yeah. Whatever. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I guess that's it for now. I might try to record a little bit more, but we'll see. I do want to say one thing. I actually really like this music. I don't know, I'm just finding myself really enjoying it right now. But either way, I'll be posting this as soon as I can, and hopefully I'll be seeing you next time.